Hi everyone, Joseph Morris here, creator of Rawrify, and today I'm going to go over one of the new features in the version 0.3 release of Rawrify, which is asymmetric encryption and decryption. You may also know this as public and private key encryption. Essentially, what this entails is you have two separate encryption keys used in this process, a public key and a private key, and you will share the public key with anybody, and someone will take the public key, they'll encrypt a message that should be secret with your public key, and it can only be decrypted by your private key. So they will send the encrypted message to you or your service, and then your service will use the private key to decrypt that message. So important to note, you can share the public key, you will not share the private key. Here's some notes here about some limitations with the service. Be sure to read those if you're using it. And then here's some notes about how data is encrypted, including some limitations of pure RSA encryption, which necessitates us to use a hybrid encryption. But if you're interested in reading more about this, I encourage you to follow this link. Great Stack Exchange thread right here that you can check out. And of course, I use the Python cryptography library for all my encryption and decryption operations. So to jump right into the demo, I'm on my Windows machine with WSL. I know I say here Linux or Mac. WSL on Windows will work for this. And I already have OpenSSL installed. I'm going to generate some new RSA keys because I don't have any for this demo yet. So I'll run through this command, just paste it right into here. What this command is going to do, it's going to generate an RSA key. It's going to name it rawrify-test.private-key. Private key right here to let us know that this is the private key. It should not be shared. And then it's going to be 4096 bits in length. Enter. That's going to generate. I have my File Explorer open up here so that you can see the private key as we step through this. Next, I'm going to generate the public key from that private key. Again, the public key is what can be shared. The private key is what cannot be shared. So I can see here I'm using RSA for OpenSSL. My input is going to be my private key I just generated, and I'm going to specify this pub out flag right here, and then another flag dash out. That's the file name that's going to be for the public key. I'm going to name it rawrify-test-public-key. Hit enter. And one way to know if you like misname these or whatever is to know which key is which is if you open this in a text editor. I'm going to pull it up. You can see right here the public key file will say begin public key in this block up here. I won't open the private key, but the private key will say something similar. It'll just say begin RSA private key or something along those lines. So from there, we've generated our keys. We can move on to the encryption steps. I'm just going to copy this command. I'll go over it in a minute. And I'll pull my window up here so you can see this better, so it doesn't wrap around. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to send a post request using curl, and we're going to send two form elements in the post request, a key with value that's going to be our public key. So remember, the encryption process uses the public key, and then the body, the thing to encrypt. Let's call this hello. This is my demo. And we're going to go to the Rawrify URL that you're probably now familiar with. And then the route is going to be asymmetric-encrypt. So similar to the symmetric encryption route as well. Hit enter. And I get a whole encrypted string back. In fact, I'm going to run that again. And I'm going to save that output to a file just for ease of demo purposes. I'm going to call it encrypted output.txt. And if we go into the File Explorer right here, we can see that we have encrypted output.txt. If we open it, we have the encrypted string right here. Awesome. So from here to decrypt, what we're going to do is we are going to copy this command from the wiki, and I'll go through it right now. The only difference between this command is that we have so we have the same form fields, but the values are going to be different. So instead of the key pointing to the public key, remember this is public-private key encryption. It's asymmetric. Instead of pointing to the public key for decryption, we're going to use the private key. And the body is going to be that encrypted output that I save to a file. If I could type, there we go. And then the route is going to be different too. Instead of asymmetric encrypt, we're going to go to asymmetric decrypt. If you accidentally pass in the public key, you'll just get an error from the Rawrify service that wasn't able to decrypt your message. So if you do get errors like that, just make sure you're using the right key in the right operation. Remember, encrypt uses public key, decrypt uses private key. Hit enter. And we can see our output is, hello, this is my demo. So we can see that asymmetric encryption is working. This is a really cool piece of Rawrify. I'm really excited to roll this out. This is a great example of a lot of the encryption methods that the web uses, like SSL, MIME, or SMIME, OpenPGP. You can see in here the Stack Exchange thread right here that I linked in the wiki goes in a lot more depth about this, but yeah, thank you for checking out Rawrify. And as always, if you have any issues, please reach out to me in GitHub, whether through an issue or a discussion thread. But yeah, thank you for checking out my video.